Hey guys!
Welcome back to our channel!
Welcome back! Welcome back!
Ooh, that was exciting! That was exciting for you! So proud! Anyways guys, we're back with another video and today we're talking about can men and women have best friends of the opposite sex?
Yeah, is it possible? You hear the saying with girls saying he's my best friend and guys saying she's my best friend, but today we're going to talk about whether men and women can actually be best friends.
Obviously we have our perspectives of the matter, but we want to hear what you guys have to say as well. Have you had a best friend of the opposite sex? Did it work? Did it not work? Is it still working? Let us know, but we just thought we'd come to you and share why we in our relationship have decided that we're not having no best friends of the opposite sex.
Yes. So before we get into this video, let's define what a best friend looks like. This is someone who's just as good as a family member, someone that you can confide in and tell your deepest, darkest secrets to, and they'll continue to be there and not judge you regardless of what you've done. Someone who you go to in the good times and the bad times, someone who is literally just there for you, and you actually enjoy their company.
I always think of it as, who you calling? Who you calling, girl? When times are going well, who you calling? When times are difficult, who you calling? Like, who's that first person that you want to speak to? They are your best friend at the end of the day.
So the reason why we don't have best friends of the opposite sex is because we've realized when you're best friends with someone, you need to communicate. And I know it may sound a bit silly, but communication has a journey. Like, you start finding similarities with each other, you start enjoying their company, and over a period of time, the relationship has a bit more depth. And that's when you start opening up and sharing your deepest, darkest secret. And then you're a bit vulnerable with the person, and that vulnerability builds a sense of intimacy. Because now you've really like this person, and let's be honest, everyone wants to be loved. And even though it might not be like a love like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you still feel a sense of fulfillment that someone is there for you. Someone accepts you regardless of what you've done or what you're going through, and they continue to be there for you.
Because people think intimacy like starts in the bedroom. No way. Because for us too, like, we didn't have sex before we got married, but we were intimate in terms of conversation. Like, our conversations went there. I told him things about my past that he accepted, and we could talk for hours, and I could see myself becoming more and more vulnerable with him, and that was deep in itself. Let's not underestimate the power of communication. Like, it starts one way and it just leads and it becomes deeper and deeper, especially as you get to know each other more. So think about it. As you communicate more, you become more vulnerable with that person because they're getting to know the real you. As you become more vulnerable with that person, you're obviously becoming more intimate with the person, and then that intimacy is deep, and that is what can really lead to a lot of other things. So
intimacy literally opens the door. It can open the door to comparison. Like, just imagine you're married, you have this best friend who's outside of your relationship, and then you're going to them, you tend to compare, like, oh, my partner doesn't do this, but my friend does this. The thing is, your partner will always lose, because although you're best friends with this person, you spend more time with your partner. You see your partner at their worst moments, and the grass is always going to look greener on the other side, because you don't see your best friend in a day in and day out. Regardless of whether you're married or in a relationship, your partner will always lose out.
That's so true, because it's not in the good times when, you know, you're going to be comparing your partner to your best friend. It's in those tough times where, like, you don't actually want to talk to your partner and you think, okay, who's the next best person for me to talk to, because we want outlets. And if that person is not a female or someone of the same sex as you, you're going to someone of the opposite sex, and then comparison creeps in, my friend. Don't think that, you know, you're just going to be there, oh yeah, you're just being that friend, because comparison will creep in. Your husband or your partner's been a waste man, and then you'll put that your best friend is like,
like, you're confiding in your best friend, and he's being there for you, he's reassuring. You're like, bro, like, why can't my husband be like this, or why can't my wife be like this? And you realize you just start leaving your relationship before you even left the relationship, because you already got this person. It's almost like a rebound or someone who makes you feel better, and you don't feel like you need your partner anymore.
So true, because then you go back to the good times with your partner, but you already got comfortable with talking to this other person. Like, this is the way that things can lead. So
and even from that, you might actually start enjoying the person of the opposite sex more than you do with your partner. Like, you start thinking about them more, and then again you are leaving your relationship before you actually left. So everything starts off really innocent, just a gentle conversation, and then before you know it, You got.
You're out of there, mate. You're out.
So people think that, you know, when things go wrong in your relationship, it starts up with a big catastrophic thing, but literally it starts off with a small seed.
Yeah.
Just a small thing of having a conversation already, like we said, is kind of pulling you out of your existing relationship, and then it leads into other things. You never know, sexual temptation could come in.
Yeah.
And again, people think that people who cheat on their partners are actually bad and terrible people. But what's actually happened is that they've put themselves in a situation, and before they know it, oh my God.
Yeah.
We're just having sex.
Yeah.
But again, why have you put yourself in that position where you've left yourself vulnerable for something like that to happen?
That's why we in our relationship have just decided to keep that door closed.
Yeah.
Like, I know it sounds silly, like the fact that we don't have best friends of the opposite sex, but we know where that could lead to, and if we have the end in mind, we're gonna make sure that we're 10 steps away from that end, to divorce-proof our marriage, because relationships are hard work and marriages are hard work. That's why there's 50% of marriages that end up in divorce. So when it can't just go with the flow and think, oh, you know, I just like this male friend of mine, so let me just talk to him, he's just a friend. Like, we can't leave room for those little things to start happening, because you never know where that could end up. So we've just decided that we will be each other's best friend. Yeah. Like, even in the tough times, the reasons we the reasons that we get over arguments so quickly is because he is my only best friend. And when you have an argument with your husband, you still miss your best friend. Yeah. And that's why I go to him to talk. That's why we have to sort it out sooner, because I want to talk to him. But if I had another option, another option in life, then we wouldn't resolve our arguments as quick as we do, or I wouldn't need him as much. So let's just think about it also. If you're not in a relationship, you could actually be in a position where you're actually very content being single, when really and truly you're content with the person that you have in your life at that point in time, and you actually don't see the need to be in a relationship, because this best friend of yours is fulfilling all the characteristics that you kind of need in your partner. So they're there for you in the hard times, they're there for you in the good times, and they're just there. Like, you don't really even see the need for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and lo and behold, your best friend now goes into a relationship, and now you're feeling a certain way. But you didn't realize that you were going to feel this until they left. So again, assess the situation early, and it's better to have a conversation with someone if you're starting to feel like you like them, rather than just keep going with the flow and thinking, we're just best friends, thinking that that's okay. Because in a relationship, your partner is your best friend. So when people say like, oh, I have a best friend of the opposite sex, that's basically your partner, because the only difference between like us and someone who has a best friend that's of the opposite sex is that we're physically intimate, I guess. You may not have acknowledged that you're together, but you could actually be together. Yeah, so like, it's really important to just get to know yourself, and like, if you don't like being alone, you just need to go through the uncomfortability, if that's a word, of being by yourself and not liking it for a season, and then getting used to that, rather than having someone there. Because I know people who have had male best friends, female best friends, and that person has gone into a relationship and it's been so heartbreaking for them, like, oh, I've lost my friend and this, that. It's because they're basically going through a breakup, but without it, like a psychological contract where you're together, but you're not really together. Yeah. So again, we've always said, if you're single, this is the perfect time to find yourself and become whole within yourself before you go into a relationship. Because at the end of the day, if you don't find yourself and you're whole when you're single, your husband or wife will never fulfill you. Because you can never find wholeness in a marriage. It's supposed to complement what you already have, and you find all that within your singleness. So it's deep, you know. Life is deep. 100%. But some of the practical things that we do is that we don't actually go out for dinners one-to-one with the opposite sex. We don't see the need to. You will never catch me on a late night having dinner, having a good conversation. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And I don't tell men things that I haven't told Gabes already. Like, he is my first point of call. If anything good, anything bad happens, or anything in my life, Gabes will be the first person of the opposite sex to know. Yeah, so we do have friends of the opposite sex. There's people that we get on with. But the way that our friendships are is that we have we're more group settings. So we have a group of us that go out and we chill, we hang, and it could actually we just don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're left vulnerable, and then
we end what we have. Because like, you know, I truly love Annabella and I truly want to, you know, yeah, you know, the dream we have is that we're 80 years old, we're in our rocking chairs and we're just like, you know.
No adultery. Yeah. No, none of that.
Joy, you know. Like we really, like that is the vision for our life. Like we actually can reminisce on all the good times rather than talking about all the heartbreak and stuff that's happened. So it's a daily discipline that we have to put in place because. And
it's not saying that we would never be able to get through that stuff, but you'd rather not go through something than go through something. And certain things, like we can put precautions in place to make sure that that kind of stuff does not happen. So that's just what we're doing now, early on, because we just want to make sure that D word does not occur in our marriage. And
no D word.
No, except for Deku.
Yeah. So I hope you found this video useful.
Yeah.
And if you're in a relationship with a friend, just assess the situation early.
Yeah.
Protect yourself if you're in your marriage, and also protect yourself when you're single.
What I'd say is basically ask yourself the question: if you do have someone that's a close friend of the opposite sex and you're in a relationship, ask yourself why. Like, why are you so close to them? Why do you enjoy talking to them? What points of time do you talk to them? Is it times when you're having problems in your relationship? I don't know, there's loads of questions that you should ask yourself just to really understand the reasons why you're doing certain things so that you can do something about the situation. Because sometimes, yeah, it could be innocent, but think about, everything just...
all negative things can start with innocence.
Yeah.
It just, you need to really just have the power and take hold and ask yourself why.
I think we err on the side of caution because we just have seen things where...
Yeah, we're too aware of things that's happening and we're just going, that is not going to be our portion.
No way. No way. So we just thought we'd share that with you and tell you why we decided in our relationship not to have best friends of the opposite sex outside of each other.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So that we can resolve conflict quicker, so that we don't open the door for cheating, for emotional cheating, physical cheating, whatever that looks like, and just jealousy within the relationship. Like,
and this doesn't mean like I've put a restriction on Annabella and she's put a restriction on me. Like, if you think about it, there's not even enough time in the day to, or week or month, even spend with your partner. And I don't even see the need to go out and just be spending all this amount of time with someone of the opposite sex, because I just want to spend time with my wife. You know, I paid a lot for that wedding, so let me enjoy it. You know?
You're such a mess. I paid too, bro. Anyways, so, you know, we hope that's insightful and
peace.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing else to say. See you later.
Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.